Now, the spot itself, obviously multiple firms have tried to take it on. For whatever reason, it hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
You guys have been doing site work for months and months and months. How has that kind of affected the construction process? Obviously, it's full steam ahead, but I know you're doing extra work there.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So the pile component of this project, this auger cast piles in a steel caisson, right? They go super deep. Every project in Florida goes through like a geotechnical analysis to determine how deep do the piles need to go. This site needed some very deep piles. We brought on Bauer Foundation. I think Sean mentioned it in his last podcast or your podcast with him. They had the right equipment and the expertise. They're based in Germany. They do work all over the world.
Wow.
We brought in, really the experts. We spent almost $18 million on the piles alone. And that probably speaks to why this site was complicated for some people before. Because unless you're doing a large project to the magnitude of Pendry, in excess of $400 million construction project, a smaller project could never absorb $18 million of piles. Right? Even for us, it's a financial challenge, candidly, right? It's a big number. 230 piles total on the project, roughly at 230 or 231. We have 4 left as of today.
Wow.
So it's a really exciting time for the site because we're done essentially with that component. We'll be going vertical. You come back to the site in a few months, you'll start to see columns being erected and such. So it's a really exciting time. There's a great video of what was going on.
This is probably a few months old, but even so, it's been quite interesting watching this foundation unfold.
You see those pieces on the right-hand side there, right? So those are steel tubes, right, that actually stay in the ground permanently.
Oh.
It's pretty amazing, right? So those things go down, they get welded together and put into sections. Some of them go over 150 feet into the ground.
I thought those were a casing that you'd pour concrete into.
You do, but they stay in there.
They stay in there.
Yeah. And that was in order to create the kind of rigidity required for those piles to stay in place and to feel confident at all times that there was nothing kind of leaking out into the soil beneath the surface.
Our sensitive aquifer, right? Got to protect it.
Exactly.
So it's interesting you mentioned a German firm, and a lot of the other guests I've had have spoken about outside talent, whether it's world-renowned architect, a foundation company from Germany. That's happening a lot more now, where there's like these worldwide players coming here to Tampa.
Well, their headquarters, U.S. headquarters, happens to be here in Tampa.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and they were the only people in the state that have the equipment capacity for this project.
That's what I was
We
gonna
work with
ask.
other foundation contractors. It just was coincidental that they're here. They were a great partner of ours. I can only tell you, it was literally a daily discussion because when you're doing work under the ground, right, you may have taken some tests before, but until you actually start to do the work, you don't really know exactly what you're going to encounter. So there's constantly kind of having it's almost like a game plan, right, in a sporting event, right? Okay, they did this, we're going to do this. It was constantly having meetings to discuss, okay, here's what we encountered yesterday. Let's make sure we do this. You get the engineer on the phone, you discuss it. Okay, here's how we're going to move forward. It was a really, really iterative partnership with them.
Was it something that they were confident in from the beginning? I mean, I'm assuming that they said, hey, this is going to, require a little extra, but we can get it done.
Oh, yeah. They have the technical capabilities to do it. Between coastal construction and Two Roads, we really sourced a great team in putting them together.
Sounds like you're pretty confident going in with these specific contractors.
Yeah, as well as our engineers.
Right.
The engineers signed off on everything that they were planning to do. Very important to us.
Boy, there's a lot going on. It's pretty incredible how all these things come together for one specific project. It makes me imagine some of the larger scale stuff that's multitudes larger than this Pendry, like Gasworks or Water Street. I mean, multiple buildings, underground infrastructure, sidewalk. It's like
a lot of moving parts and pieces.
I can't imagine planning something like that.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this clip, click here for the full episode and make sure to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.